Hello and welcome to another Vlogmas video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Today, I'm going to be talking about the books, hair on me, books that I have recently acquired. So I've got a couple that I've bought, I've got some that have been sent from the publisher, and there's not loads here because December is not a month renowned for books being released or anything, so it's a bit quiet on the old book front. However, there's two that I've bought that I'm very, very, very excited about. I'm going to start with those actually. They're both second-hand copies of books that I've been excited to get to, and the first one is I blame Jen Campbell. This is Blue Monday by Nikki French. This is the first in a series of 8 crime books which follow a woman called, she's a psychotherapist, Frida Klein. Now, I've heard such good things from Jen about these, how much she's enjoyed them, how much she's sort of consumed them and loved them. And I was really thinking of like a good crime series to get into, and I was thinking about my reading sort of after, in between Christmas and New Year, because I'm off that week, and what I might want to get up to. And I thought I would get the first copy of this second hand, and then if I don't like it, then fine, no bother. And I've also got sort of the last 3 out from the library. Maybe I'll listen to one on audiobook, etc, etc, if I really get on with them. So yeah, so I'm very, very excited. All I know is that it's a crime book that follows a woman called Frida Klein. So let's learn together what the first one's about, just so I can get a little bit more hype. So it says, Monday, 5-year-old Matthew Faraday is abducted. His face is splashed across newspaper front pages. His parents and the police are desperate. Can anyone help find their little boy before it's too late? Psychotherapist Frida Klein just might know something. One of her patients describes dreams of seizing a boy who is the spitting image of Matthew. Convinced at first the police will dismiss her fears out of hand, Frida reluctantly finds herself drawn into the heart of the case. A previous abduction from 20 years ago suggests a new lead, one that only Frida, an expert on the minds of disturbed individuals, can uncover. Struggling to make sense of this terrifying investigation, Frida will face her darkest fears in the hunt for a clever and brutal killer. So yeah, so excited to read this. And then if I enjoy Blue Monday, then I will move on to the second one in the series, which is called Tuesday's Gone. So that's the first one. Then the second one I've got is, again, a second-hand copy of The Fair Fight by Anna Freeman. When David and I went away for the week of my birthday, and here comes David. He's got a very bad tooth, but he still has managed to make me a cup of tea. I thought, oh, do you know what? I panicked then, because David's made me a lovely cup of cider, and as you brought it over to me, I thought, oh, I didn't tell him not to put milk in it. But you didn't, so it's fine. Yeah. So yeah, that's mulled cider from Bird and Blend, lovely. While David and I were away, I started reading a book called 5 Days of Fog by Anna Freeman, which is a historical fiction book about the big fog in December of 1960. I can't remember, was it 1960? It might even have been earlier than that, 1950 something. Really, really enjoyed it. It's also following a sort of female gang, and one member of the gang who's trying to get out of that female gang. Very much enjoyed it, loved the writing, was really gripped by it, and knew that she had another book out, which this came out before, this was her first book, The Fair Fight, which is about women wrestlers, I believe. So this is about, so I've got this out from the library a few times and then never got around to reading it, so finally I have it in my hands and I will start reading it. I probably imagine early in the new year. I've just seen what lovely colour purple it is underneath. It says here, born into a brothel, Ruth's future looks bleak until she catches the eye of Mr. Dreyer, a rich Bristol merchant and enthusiast of the ring. He trains gutsy Ruth as a pugilist. Soon she rules the blood-spattered sawdust at the infamous Hatchet Inn. Can't get my words out today. Dreyer's wife Charlotte lives in the shadows. A grieving orphan, she hides away, scarred by smallpox, ignored by Dreyer, and engaged in dangerous mind games with her brother. When Dreyer sidelines Ruth after a disastrous fight and focuses on training her husband Tom, Charlotte presents Ruth with an extraordinary proposition. As the tension mounts between Tom's championship fight, two worlds collide with electrifying consequences. Oh, listen to this last little paragraph. The Fair Fight will take you from a filthy brothel to the finest houses in town, from the world of street fighters to the world of champions. Alive with the smells and sounds of the streets, it's a raucous, intoxicating tale of courage, reinvention, and fighting your way to the top. Sounds like I'm going to bloody well love it. So yeah, so I've still got to finish 5 Days of Fog, because I never got around to finishing that, because then I started reading Christmas books, but very much enjoyed that. So I'll finish 5 Days of Fog, and then I'm going to move on to The Fair Fight, which I am looking forward to. The next ones have been sent to me by publishers. The first one is a proof copy of a book that is out in March 2020 by Abby Dare. This is published by Skepta. It's called The Girl with the Loudoun Voice. Now this front cover is absolutely beautiful. Hold on, I'm trying to show it to you. And the French flaps that just go around. Look at it. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful indeed. So let's find out what this is together. I've had a lovely little card saying, "Dear Lauren, I hope you enjoy it," which I've just dropped on the floor. Let's read the old press release together and find out. Aduni is a 14-year-old Nigerian girl who knows what she wants, an education. God, already it sounds like I'm going to love this. Her mother tells her it's the only way to get a Loudoun voice, the ability to speak for herself and decide her own future. But when her mother dies, Aduni's life changes overnight. In need of money, her father breaks his promise and sells his daughter into marriage. Aduni's life, her hopes and dreams amount to this: 4 goats, 2 bags of rice, some chickens and a new TV. Oh, so there's more. We go into more details of her life. So when unspeakable tragedy swiftly strikes into her new home, she is secretly sold as a domestic servant to the household in the wealthy enclaves of Lagos, where no one will talk about the strange disappearance of her predecessor Rebecca. No one but Aduni, that is. As a yielding daughter, a subservient wife and a powerless house help, Aduni is repeatedly told that she is nothing, but Aduni will not be silent. She's determined to find her voice however she can, in a whisper, in a song, in broken English, until she can speak for herself, for the girls that come before and for all the girls that come after. This sounds like it's going to be amazing. Oh, I'm very excited about that. So that comes out in March. I'm going to read that before it comes out in March so I can hype that, because that sounds like it's going to be fantastic. We're just going to get all these books that I want to read in January, aren't we? Very good. The next ones are from Pam Macmillan. Now, they were very kind. Emma from Book Break, who I love and adore, sent me a lovely little Christmas package, which had it had books in there that I'd requested, books that I hadn't requested, a bath bomb, some little chocolate robins, adorable little candy canes, and here are a few of those books that appeared in that very box. So this is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. It says here, "You will change, you might survive," and this is, I mean, let's read this again. I actually requested this one, but I can't bloody remember what it said. So again, I'm reading from the back of the book, but we can learn together. It's been 18 months since the Raxter School for Girls was put under quarantine, since the tox hit and pulled Hetty's life out from under her. It started slow. God, this sounds exciting as well. First the teachers died one by one, then it began to infect the students, turning their bodies strange. Left to fend for themselves on their island home, the girls don't dare wander outside the school's fence, where the tox has made the woods wild and dangerous. As it seeps into everything, they wait for the cure they were promised. But when her best friend Bayet goes missing, Hetty will do anything to find her, even if it means breaking quarantine and braving the horrors that lie outside. And when she does, Hetty learns that there's more to this story, to the tox and life at Raxter, than she ever thought possible. Bloody hell. It all sounds exciting, doesn't it? I really like this front cover as well. It's got a girl's face on it, and then it's got sort of like plants and things growing out of it. Lovely front cover. Very good. The next one I've got from them was also A History by Judith Flanders. This is, as it says on the tin, Christmas a History, and you know how much I love me some Christmas books. I'm actually getting to the end of running out of all my Christmas books this year, which has never happened. I think this month, and I'm filming this on the 16th, I've read a book a day this month, and that ranges from like little tiny picture books to like bigger books. So I'm running out of Christmas books, so I'll be looking forward to reading this and finding out all about Christmas, which is very exciting. I've also been listening to audiobook from Audible. No, it's a podcast from Audible called Christmas What the Fa La 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 La, which I can't remember the name of the guy's name, but it's got Grace Dent hosts it with this other guy who's like a Christmas expert, and they talk about the history of Christmas and things like that. And I consider myself quite the knowledgeable Christmas person, but I've even found out things I didn't know then, so that's quite exciting. So yeah, so I will be getting around to that this month. And then the last one they sent me, which is also slightly Christmassy, this is The Snow Queen, a colouring book, a Christmas book, with some colouring. So, and I know David loves a bit of colouring, and he loves a bit of Snow Queen. This is what Frozen was based on, wasn't it? So yeah, oh, that's a good page. Look at that, with all those fruits. Pickles, tomatoes, beetroot, sweet corn, peas. All my favourite bits. So yes, and then the last book I've been sent is a little tiny baby picture book sent to me by Bloomsbury, and that is The Lonely Christmas Tree. And all I know about this, it says on the back, "'Twas the night before Christmas, and high on a hill, a lonely tree shivered in the cold and the still." And this is a beautiful reworking of the classic Yuletide poem celebrating the true meaning of Christmas. And it's got some lovely illustrations in there, really like beautiful pictures and things like that. So those are some of the books I got my hands on in the month of December. Have I been out of focus this whole video? Let's hope not. Let me know if you have read any of these books. Let me know what books you've got your hands on in the month of December, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Goodbye!